Hola, hola, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of High on Feminism. We have been having an amazing time getting to know some of the members at Juno House here in Barcelona. Our next guest is none other than Camila Ferrari Kaplan. She is the co-founder of Vasta. Welcome, Camila.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yes, thank you for being here. I have been wanting to try to have as many organic relationship guests on the podcast. And so I always like to tell people how I meet some of our guests. And for you, I remember being in Juno and you had like waved to me or something when I walked by you. And I was like, is she waving to me? Like, I'm like, do I know her? Like, I was like running through my head. But then later on, when I saw you in yoga class, you reminded me that we met at Ani's event for Yak Sock. And she's, of course, a guest this season as well, which is really great. But I was like, I don't know. I haven't been anywhere. Like, how does she know me? Like, I was so confused. But you came up to me and I helped you out with some content. We did a little test run on the content, of course. But it was like so great to just have that natural connection. And so when we were just chatting in the studio, I was like, oh, maybe she'll be interested in coming on. And
I was so interested.
Yeah, and now you're here. So talk to me about Vasta. You co-founded it with your partner. What's her name again? Keren. So you co-founded with Keren, and it is a digital marketing company.
Yes,
correct?
It's a boutique digital marketing agency. We founded it about 3 years ago.
Congrats.
And thank you. It's been a road. And yeah, so the idea is to have a sort of like a boutique service, different from big agencies.
Yeah.
And what I do is the creative part. I'm in charge of the strategic creative department, and Keren is my other half in life and in also in work. And she's in charge of the more digital marketing, sort of like numbers. And she's the person who complements
She's the analytics.
Yes.
You're the creative.
Yes.
You gotta have that balance.
It's two different personalities.
Yeah.
And we balance each other really, really well. And I don't know any other way to do any professional way that's not with her right now.
Yeah. The digital marketing space, like your clients are all over, or are they mainly in like Barcelona and Europe?
So they're mainly in Spain, all of them in Europe.
Okay.
But we do have some clients from Switzerland, some clients from UK, and then, one really cool client, which is in Canarias, which I love because I get to travel there once in a while.
I love that.
But we specialize in fitness mostly and beauty, sort of like lifestyle.
Okay.
Which is fun and easy and something that we really like to do. I love my job. It's something that, it's hard sometimes, but I do love it and I choose it every day.
Yeah. I think that's like the hardest part about being an entrepreneur is like making sure you really love it. Because like when it's your... You know, in America, we are very much like, what do you do? What do you do? And, you know, people make that like their personality. And for me, though, like my job kind of is my personality. Like I love it so much. And my husband is always like, you know, you're really lucky that you actually like what you're doing. Like not a lot of people do that. And I'm like, yes, but I also am like stressed 24/7. So it's like, you know, I enjoy it, but it gives me a lot of stress.
There's this reel that always like identifies me really. Like it's amazing because you're crying and it's like me at the job that I always dreamed of. Yeah. The company I always dreamed and she's like crying.
Yes.
Yes, that is me. And I feel very lucky. I remember when I was, I think 10 or 8, I don't know. I just remember this story where this man told me that he couldn't he wanted to be a doctor and he couldn't because of money and resources and all that. And I think that really hit me. So every time, of course, not every day because, you know, having a business is hard and you get difficult times and half the time I don't know what I'm doing and why I'm doing what I'm doing. But when you get those moments where for me, it's the creative part, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm shooting or I write a script or I do something that actually people go like, wow, this is something.
Yeah.
Then I get this, okay, this is what I do this.
Yes.
This is why I do this. And then that calms me down and it's like, sort of like, okay.
Yeah.
I'm where I'm supposed to be.
Exactly. It gives you like a sense of purpose for sure.
Yes.
Yeah. I was talking to someone the other day too about how, yeah, it's like you go through these such like highs, and then like really low lows. And it's like always for me trying to find like the balance of how to kind of, stop with the internal negative thoughts that are like, why did you do this? You should be at a corporate job. Like
100%.
and you're just kind of like, am I in the right place? But yeah, and then you have those moments where something validates you. And for me, like I'm such a creative person as well. So when I do have the opportunity to do something creative, it just like, yeah, it makes like your soul feel better. Like it's always like this part of my chest feels like light. And I'm like, oh, this is nice.
Exactly like that. Yeah. Yes. And you also get, I feel like I thought when I started this road, I thought I was the only one that had those moments. I think because Karen doesn't have them as much.
Okay.
So I thought
What's her secret?
I don't know. I think she's more, because she's analytic, she's more stable in all senses. So she knows it's a bump and it will pass. For me, it's like I get sad when something happens.
Yeah.
So I feel like I get more downs, and then every time I get this sadness, it's like, okay, I'm going to go to India and be a yoga teacher, and that's it for me. I'm done.
Eat, pray, love. That's what I got to do.
Yes.
Yes.
And then the next, and I know it's just 24 hours,
Yeah.
but it's just, I guess everyone gets that with any job.
Yeah.
It's just when it's your job, it's like when it's your company.
Yes.
It feels like the end of the world sometimes.
It does. It really does. Like, I don't know how many times I'm just like, oh my God, like I'm a failure today. And then like I'll get an email from a client that's like, you're doing amazing and I love working with you. And I'm like, oh, okay. Maybe I'm actually like cool. Like
I'm just going to say something. Yes to positive feedback.
Yeah.
I love that. Not all clients give positive feedback.
Yeah.
And sometimes they're with you for 3 years and you get only never a good job. Well done.
Yeah.
So
they're just like, okay. Like, that's it.
That's it. Yeah. Yeah. Good enough.
Yeah. They're like, okay, this works. And it's like, oh, okay. Yeah. So is it good though? Like,
yes. So if you're a client and you're listening, give positive feedbacks.
Yes, always provide positive feedback. So before you started Vasta, what were you doing in terms of like your career and all that good stuff?
So, okay. So I think I'm one of those people that have always wanted to do what they do. Mm-hmm. So like, I think I was 10 the first time.
Okay.
I was like, I want to write scripts and do videos.
I love that.
And yeah. But I studied communication back in Argentina. I'm from Argentina. And then I live in Australia for a little bit, high school exchange.
I hear that.
Yeah.
In the accent. I love it.
Thank you. I thought I lost it a little bit. No? And then I went to Argentina, studied communications, then went to New York for a marketing internship, sort of like branding marketing internship. It was really, really nice experience. So, yeah. Williamsburg girl. And then I started working in agencies, and I tried agencies and I tried corporate, sort of like inside the communication department. Mm-hmm. And I thought that agencies were, at least the ones that I've been to, were a little bit chaotic. They were big agencies, a little bit broken in a lot of senses. Yeah, people are normally not happy working in agencies. No.
Especially in New York.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. In Argentina as well. So I think it's worldwide. So when pandemics, like everyone, this was a break for everyone. And I thought I want something that's different, and I want to create something that's fun and that makes, a different approach to communications in general. Yeah. So I feel like nowadays the agencies are creating things that are very standard, right? So
kind of the same thing.
Thing. And it makes sense because the hour rates are not, you have to charge a lot to get to be, creative, creative takes time, and it takes you, it requires you to go down the park and look at the trees.
And energy and all of that. Yes. And if it's like, sometimes I think those agencies are like, well, if it's not broke, don't fix it kind of deal. So
Exactly.
they find a formula and they just run with it.
Yes. So we came together with Karen we started freelancing first.
Okay.
And then we separately. She's always been a freelancer. She never worked for anyone. She always decided to.
Woman after my own heart.
So we came together for a few projects, and those projects actually came out really well, and we worked well together and decided to create something the idea was to create something that sort of live beyond us, right?
Yeah.
So that something that could work has its own life.
Yeah.
Separately from us. So the idea for us is to be there, of course, but not only be the two of us, but create an agency with its own life and personality and all of that. So that's how Vasta was born.
All right. I mean, you've traveled all over, which is great, and had the opportunity to work in so many different areas, countries. What did you feel was sort of the best work environment in terms of the countries and cities you were in?
Interesting question. I guess each country has its own thing. For me in Spain, I love really long hours. In Spain, you work from 9 to 8 or from 9 to 7. So normally it's longer hours.
Yeah.
In terms of not that you stay because you have work. It's just that those are your hours.
Yeah.
Right? So it's a lot of hours, but people work very chill.
Yeah.
So they don't have as much pressure, I feel. When I was working in New York, it was crazy. So it's it was
deadline.
Yes. Yes. I feel like I was working with big clients, really big clients. So I think the pressure was higher.
Yeah.
Right? So
to kind of keep up that quality of what they're expecting.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So meetings on Sundays and lost weekends and long nights and all of this, which was very intense. But then I feel like you don't have at 5, if you don't have anything to do, you go home.
Yeah. Yeah.
While
nice.
Yes. Yes. Well, in Spain, it's sort of you
still have to stay.
You still have to stay. That was the culture, at least for the different companies that I worked. So I think everything has its own thing.
Yeah.
And Argentina is more similar to the States, I would say.
Very hard working, get the grind.
Get it done. Yeah. We don't stop for coffee and do it's just
lunch breaks.
No,
this is in France.
Exactly. It's 20-minute lunch, and then you go back to work, and then you go home early.
Yeah. Or the eating at the desk thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I did that for so many years too. And that's why when I started coming more to Europe and kind of just experiencing their lifestyles, I started integrating it into my company very early on, because I was just I don't want to just slave away in an office or a cubicle or, and just answer to other people. I also feel I've always had a rebellious spirit, especially when I was little. And I remember just wanting to I'd be this is my business, and my mom got me one of those binders, that those professionals have. And it had all this paperwork for kids to imagine a business. And I had no idea what business I was running, but I was just I'm going to run a business one day. So that was always in my head, sort of you were always I want to script write. I want to do something creative. But it wasn't until I also went through crazy, not so great companies where I was I think I could build a better company. Strictly from an ethos moral perspective to start, but then also just from a management perspective as well.
Yes.
What's been one of the easiest and maybe hardest things about starting your own company?
So I was thinking while you were talking, I was thinking about how most companies are not owned by women.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel we don't have, it's hard for us in so many ways. And that's one of the things that I also thought, I want to be one of those women who says, who owns a company. And then after a few years, you go, okay, so I don't get, maternity leave. And I don't get, there's so many things that, how do I get
time off?
So how do you build something and take care of yourself
Yes.
while building something that's different? And I think that's one of the trickiest parts.
Yeah.
Of you want the company to earn money, so you want to do good.
Yeah.
But then you don't want to be exploiting people.
Yeah.
Right? So you want to pay them fairly.
Yeah.
So you want to charge more to the client.
Yeah.
So you need to get more clients to
Yeah.
to pay more. For that, you need to work
Yeah.
a lot.
Yeah.
To get your standards really high.
Yeah. To show the results and everything.
Yes. So and that's my hours. And that's my health.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that includes so many things. So I think this is one of the trickiest parts of trying to build. I mean, not building, but I think, one of those things that I don't know how is it in English, but in Spanish it's like, you write a book, you plant a tree, you have a kid.
Yeah.
Is that the same thing?
Yeah.
And then it's not that. It's just get the tree to grow.
Yeah.
And then get the book to be published.
Yeah.
And then have a healthy person
Yeah.
in the world.
Yes. Yes.
So for me, it's also like it's not founding a company; it's maintaining it. Like
it's like
keeping
sustaining it.
Yes, keeping it healthy.
Yeah, and the only way for it to be healthy is like if you are healthy. Like I have a team that I've been building, and it's great because I'm able to delegate, and we've definitely grown because I'm delegating, so then I can do other stuff. But like, yeah, when my husband and I first got together, it was I had been single for like 8 years. I was working on myself, but I was like, oh my God, okay, since I've started this company, I've been single, and so I have had no one else to really think about, or anything other than myself and this company. And so I was like, how do I explain this to him, especially like a man, how do you explain to a man? Like, I run my own company and this is very important to me and this kind of comes first. And like get them to understand the fact that like you don't really have time off. Like I've gotten better about setting boundaries with clients about like, especially since moving here, being like, I'm offline at this time. But before, and Leo definitely helped me do that because it's like, we would go out, on dates in the city at like 7, 8 o'clock. And I'm still having people emailing me and press reaching out to me. And so I'm on my phone and he's like, we're on a date. Like, I need you to, and I'm like, well, this is my business. Like, I need to respond, So it definitely allowed me to create better boundaries, I think, by being in a relationship. But for the most part, like, it wasn't until I started my company in 2022. So it was, or 2018, sorry. It wasn't until 2022 that I actually like took a vacation in the middle of the year. So I like grew up in the music industry. I worked in the music industry for a long time. So between like Christmas and New Year's, it shuts down for 2 weeks. So I had always been used to having like a 2-week vacation at the end of the year, And I was like, that's all I need. But then when I started running my company, I was like, I need more vacation. Like, I don't know how to do it. Which is one of the reasons why too, I like don't work on Mondays because I'm like, I need just an extra day, whether it's like me catching up on work stuff without my team online or me just having an extra day outside of the weekend where I'm not trying to hang out with friends or whatever to like be on my own. And you have to do it. It's like, I mean, you're also like working in fitness and wellness. So like, what are some ways that like you sort of like focus on that and take time for yourself too?
Well, for me, because we founded Vasta in 2022, started freelancing in 2021 and actually founded a company in 2022. It's sort of like new, all of this. So I'm starting to get boundaries now.
Okay.
That
was me too. Like 3 years in, You're like, I can't sustain myself.
No, exactly. Like, how long can I do this without like, and I was just thinking, because I haven't had a holiday for a year now. Last time was August last year.
Oh my gosh.
And it was only 10 days, but it was fully disconnected. Like Karen knows that if she needs something, she can, like, it's a private WhatsApp where she gets like, I need your help.
Yeah.
That didn't happen last year for 10 days. And that was the
That's
first
amazing.
time. Yeah. She's actually went on holidays last week and I bothered her 2 days with 2 things, but we try not to. But I feel like I've been setting boundaries lately very good. Like I go to the gym every morning,
Oh, good.
7 a.m.
Okay.
And that's my sacred time. Like I don't do meetings at 9
Yeah.
because I want to do my gym. I want to have a shower. I want to have breakfast, and then I start at 10. Yeah. 10 is my starting hour, and that's fine with me. And I respect that. Like it's sacred.
Yeah.
So that's very, very important to me. Because we're in fitness and wellness, sometimes we have events during the weekend, same as you guys.
Yeah.
So when I do have an event and something during the weekend, I try to take an afternoon or a morning off. So I guarantee myself 48 hours of free time.
Yeah.
The thing with us right now, and something that we're struggling with, is that Karen and I, we do both. We don't just find new clients and direct and say yes or no, but we do have a job. Like we do have a proper job. So I do create content calendars for my clients actively every month, right? So I write my scripts. I do some research. We do have a team, but it's a small team. Okay. So every time we take holidays, we need to do our jobs in advance.
Yeah.
So it's sort of like how much do you take holidays if you're 2 weeks earlier, you don't have weekends, and then you're working 12 hours a day to deliver to the client what we need to deliver. So how I haven't discovered yet how to do that. I think it's just having a larger team and just being in the yes or no sort of like role, directing and creating and finding new clients rather than actually, doing the job being in a active role where you have to do stuff 8 hours a day, every day.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I feel you so hard on all of this because I'm just I go through that entire thing. One of the reasons I originally just started only doing, the Christmas, New Year's holiday off was because my clients pay me on a retainer basis per month. And so I had clients at some points where it was well, if you're going to be off for a week in July, our retainer should be a week less of funds. And I'm no, you still need to pay me for my rest so that I can come back and be recharged for your, project. And that's something that took me a while to really advocate for myself and make sure that if another client tried to say that to me, I had a solid response of no, this is not how it works kind of deal. But a great example is actually when my mom was passing away, I didn't tell any of my clients at all.
Wow.
I sat in my mom's hospital room for the week before she died, working, taking calls from her hospital room, everything, because I was I can't lose these clients. I can't have them think that I'm not available to do the job and then they don't pay me and then I can't afford all my rent and, all this stuff. And it's crazy because if I was in a regular company, which is what you were saying is that sort of safety net of being in a regular company where it's you can take that period of time and not risk your job. As an entrepreneur, it's hard to figure out how to do that.
Yes.
Because too, it's everyone has different thresholds for pain or grief or whatever. So it's what might take someone months to recoup and get back might take someone else a couple of days or whatever. And so for me, it's always how do I respect myself and where I'm at, but also make sure that I'm not losing clients. And the financial side of it is always the stressful side. It's okay, we're doing great. We got 5, 6 clients. And then it's oh, 2 of them went off because, they don't have budget anymore or they just don't have anything going on. So then you're oh my God. So it's that stress and pressure of always thinking about money is always in the back of your head. And that kind of takes it away from me feeling I can take space from my job and do whatever I need to do on the side.
Yes, yes, it is like that. For me, I also feel like, and now I'm going a little bit into the therapy part of
I love
it.
therapy.
But for me, my mom had cancer last year,
I'm
and
so
she was in
sorry.
Argentina. She's fine now.
Oh, good.
She did chemio, and she's now she's controlling every 6 months.
Yeah.
So for me, it was a little bit like I travel back and forth in Barcelona and Argentina. For I think I was 6 months and 6 months, so like 1 month here, 1 month there, and
Oh,
that
wow.
yeah, and that was my entire year. But for me, it was really hard because you have to, taking care of someone who's feeling horrible and sick and blah blah. It's terrible, especially when it's your mom, which is someone that you've always seen. For me, it was like
Yeah.
my rock.
Yeah.
So it's seeing her that she can't get up of the bed.
Yeah.
It was really, really hard. But also, I felt like I couldn't stop working, not because of money or clients or all of that, which is also a big
Yeah.
benefit, but because it was sort of like my rock.
Yeah.
Like, so one rock was sick and terrible, and then you get something
Out of like working.
yes,
Oh
which
man, I'm the
is
same way. That's part of why I worked like during that time, because it was such a stressful time, and I was like, looking back on it, I can't imagine just sitting in the hospital room, just like doing nothing the whole time.
you would read and cry and remember
Yeah.
death and that you're next.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah. And I think too, it's also like being a woman and having that company. And, thankfully for us, we do work with predominantly like women owned businesses. But when you do have those male owned businesses or male in the mix, it's like you don't really want to say, like, hey guys, I might be, unavailable this week because I try to be connecting with my clients, like I want to be there on a personal level. That's one of the things I wanted to do, like starting my own company that I just didn't see in other companies. And it's fine when we work with a mental health therapist. So me telling my mental health therapist client that I need a day, I know is not going to be an issue. But if you're working with a client that, again, like maybe they are male owned, or maybe the people on those teams are male, and you have to come in and say that, it's like you're looked at differently. It's like, oh, look at this weak woman. She needs a day off. She needs a mental health break. And it's not fair. We're just like, the standards are not there they are there, but the standards are not equal.
I agree. And that's one of the things that we wanted to build like differently. Like we wanted to be a company where we ask people how they are. And, sometimes when I see some, design or whatever, and I see it and it's like, and I don't think this is, terrible design. I think there's something going on with the designer.
Yeah.
So I set up, one-to-one meeting and what's going on. And then most of the time, like the person cries.
Yeah.
My boyfriend broke up with me. I didn't want to tell you because it's not a big deal, but I feel like, and it's clearly something that we should talk about before, because maybe I don't give you that design that day.
Exactly.
If we can talk and you can tell me that you're not doing well, or there's something's going on with your life. So I feel like I want to build that company where we actually have something that's called Feedback Friday. So every Friday at 4 and end of the week, we talk about, that's very normal, I think, in new companies.
Yeah.
How the week has been, how's your load, how are you feeling, and then how we plan a little bit on the next week.
Yeah.
Right. So that's something that we've built with time. That's very, very useful. But again, I think that I agree that you can't sustain that with every client.
Yeah.
Because some clients ask you how they are and they're really like, how are you guys doing?
Yeah.
And then some clients don't.
They're like, let's just get down to business.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's definitely fine, because I think sometimes too, like if I'm like, I am a very emotional person. Like I'm a Capricorn, so technically we don't have emotions, but like I am doing better. Like when my mom died, I was like, it's okay for me to cry.
Yes.
Like I'm allowed to cry. So I'm like, trying to get in touch with my emotions a little bit more. But there are, of course, days where I'm like, I don't really want to deal with my emotions. So I'm fine that client is like that too.
Yes.
But then it's like, we don't do it as much with our clients, which I want to. And I've been thinking about doing it more. But with my team, we have our like team meetings. We had a client a couple years ago that we didn't mesh well with them, but we did take away something from them, which was like, when we would get on calls, they would be like, how are you doing on a scale of 1 to 10? And I was like, you know what? I'm going to start doing this in our like staff meetings.
That's very good. I'm going to
Yeah.
copy that.
You should. And it's great because it gives you an idea of like where people are to start the day. And especially if it's like in the meeting and communicate, like we're in communication, but like communication is key. Like that's how you run a successful business, especially if you're working with other partners or employees, is like overly communicating. And I tell my team this all the time. And I think I'm very good at like realizing, like even via email, if people are off, and I'll probably like hit them up on the side and be like, is everything okay? Like you feel a little off today, and then, yeah, like you said, maybe sometimes they'll cry, sometimes they won't, but it's just like, they're like, yes, this is what's going on with me. And I'm like, okay, I get it. Like, I don't want this job to be like do or die. So if something is wrong, even if it's like you woke up and you're like, I can't today, like, tell me that. Let me know as much time ahead as possible because I can make arrangements and figure things out.
Yes.
But if you're just trying to barrel through the day and not tell me, and then like it's probably going to get worse for you because your work isn't going to be as good. And then I'm upset and I'm like, why does this look like this? It's like, communicate that with me.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, I'm not scary. Like, I'm not going to bite you, like I genuinely care about the people that I'm working with. And so I want to like be there and support them.
Yeah.
And I get it. Some people aren't always as open as others. So I'm always like, you don't have to tell me everything, but you do kind of have to let me know if like you're not prepared for the day kind of deal.
Well, I always say that if you had like, it's something really small, like you had a late dinner and you because you were talking to a friend until 2 a.m.
Yeah.
And then you just email me at 2 a.m. and you say, I start at 11 tomorrow.
Is it okay if I start a little later?
Yeah. I mean, and then probably if you know your workload, you know what you have to do next day, and you know when due dates are. And,
we hope.
We hope. Yes. We have a very specific management. How do you say it? Like internal software.
Yes. Okay.
So like everyone's very aware of what they have to do and how do have to do it. Yeah, it's very organized. Thank you, Karen. And then so for me it's like I don't mind just I'd rather you be rested and well and not being at your friend's party or whatever thinking about you have to wake up in 5 hours, I have to wake up in 5 hours just because you have to do time. It's just we have to be organized, and it's good for me to know that you're online from this hour to this hour most days. But then if once in a while you get something, or I feel like that's the type of things I've always dreamed about having, like when I worked in different companies. Yeah. And I've never had that. And I know a lot of companies are like that. And I know a lot of managers are like that. I just never had one. Yeah. So I want to be one.
Exactly. We're creating the things that we didn't have. And that's what I wanted to do too. Like I worked for companies that, brought in clients that were just kind of there because they could pay like the crazy fees that they wanted to pay. But like, they weren't decent people, they weren't really doing anything interesting that excited me. And especially if you're not a decent person, I definitely don't want to work on your project. And so I was just kind of like, I want that to be different. Like I obviously I'm not saying I want to be broke, but I'm also not saying that I need to be someone that's like making millions of dollars a year. I want to make money to be able to obviously pay myself and pay my team and, maybe go on a few little trips here and there. But I don't need to be bringing in these clients that are like, I have 10,000 a month. I have 20,000 a month. Just take me on. And it's like, but I don't really see like the potential there. And I'm not just going to take you on just to take you on and have all that pressure now because you're paying me all this money and to not deliver, and then you potentially leave, So it's like I try to be very discerning about the clients that we say yes to and the projects that we say yes to, because especially for me when like PR, like you really have to like believe in the client and their mission because you're pitching them. You're trying to sell somebody on like the story. And if you don't believe the story and if you're not behind it, like you're not going to get the best press for them. And I would rather like love one of the clients I'm with and work with something that's like, oh, well, we kind of just like need a client. So let's just take this on. But then it's like, we hate them or we hate the brand or something.
I think you can tell, for me, I can totally tell when I have a favorite client.
Yeah.
And because I produce so much fun stuff
Yes.
and like, and different, and like we're going to the beach to film in 2 days with a client, some crazy idea that I thought in my dreams. And my client was like, yes, let's do that. I love it. So I'm taking 20 people to the beach just to do one reel.
Yeah.
But I feel like those are the type of things that happen when you love your client, you connect with the client, you know their mission, you understand what they want to do, and the purpose and their value and what they bring to the table and to the world, in all of senses. So like I feel like that happens, but it's not so common, is it?
Yeah, it's really not. I think a lot of people tend to like, especially in like the corporate world, tend to like not like the things that they work on all the time. They're kind of just like, oh, well, I'm here and this is what I'm assigned to do and I need my paycheck. So like, here's the bare minimum, you know? But it's like, yeah, like we do a lot of like new client ops, like every month during our client or our internal like staff meeting, everybody on the team presents like 2 new clients that they're interested in. And I do that because I want it to be like a collaborative company. Like, yeah, sure. Like on the letterhead, I'm the CEO/founder. But, you know, when it comes to like the day-to-day stuff, like I'm running it with like all of these people. I want it to be almost like a co-op kind of thing. Like we share it at some point once we get enough money and all that good stuff. So I want them to, you know, like want to work on these. Like, yes, I will always be making sure that we're bringing in clients. But if you guys are bringing in projects that you really love as well, not only are you getting like partial fees for this too, because you brought them in, you're working on something that you love and you're probably going to kill it and it's going to be amazing. And then it's just going to make us look even better, you know? So it's like trying to just like inspire the team to also like think in the way that I'm thinking and how I want to run the company.
That's very good. That is very good.
It's hard. So one of the things I don't know if I struggle with this, maybe Liv. I don't know if I struggle with this. I feel like I go back and forth on it. How do you set boundaries with your clients? Because it's like you're trying to make that personal connection, but where is sometimes like where you have to draw the line and really like be like, okay, at the end of the day, though, we're still like in business together.
Do you mean with like when they ask too much of you, or
yeah, like when they ask too much, maybe they, you know, pry a little bit too much. Maybe they kind of like bombard your time because they feel like they're friends with you now. So they're like, I can hit her up on the weekend and, you know.
No.
You're like, no.
No. So I've had clients actually saying like, we have a contract with every client.
Yeah.
And a legal contract. I think most agencies do
we
that.
do too.
Yeah. And it's so like point to point that our hours are from 9 to 6 every day. Luckily Karen starts at 9 because I start answering at 10. But and we don't even reply DMs, like we're marketing, so we do social media, and that's always 24/7.
Yeah.
Right. So that's very hard for us to balance. We don't reply DMs on the weekend. We do post on the weekends.
Okay.
Which sometimes takes like, hey, this is a story, this is a mistake, this is not happening anymore. Sorry, there's a change. So like those type of things, we do respond.
Okay.
But those are exceptions.
Yeah.
If you write to me a Saturday at 10, I will answer you on Monday at 9.
Yeah.
Saying, hey, I'm sorry. Like these are not us. Like we're very, with hours, we've learned to be very, very strict.
Yeah.
Depends on the client also, because some clients are just like, I write you because I can at this hour, and then you reply whenever, and it's fine. And
they get that.
And they get that, And they just, it's a new mom, so they have crazy schedules. It's sometimes they write you at 4 a.m. because they remember something, and so you can ask them to, program an email because they're new moms. So it's like, depends on the client, basically. We do, like with some clients, we had to educate them.
Yeah.
So it's like, not like this with us. And that was repeatedly like, this is not how we want to do. This is not like urgent stuff should not be regular. It should be an exception. We've been dealing with urgent stuff, quote, like for 3 months now, once a week. This is not organizing enough. Like your organizing skills are not good. You need to work on your internal team and then get back to us. Like this was repeatedly something that we had to do. So educate them is very, very important. And then just saying, like, I'm one of those people that set a boundary, and then the client says no, but like, they want to pass through the boundary. I'm like, okay. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll do it.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
And then Karen taught me that no means no.
It's a complete sentence.
It's a complete sentence. No, we don't do that.
Yeah.
Like, no, that's out of scope. And we actually don't do that as a company. So like, it's not like, okay, that's out of scope and I can give you a budget different. Like, it's just, we don't do that.
Yeah.
That's not something that we can take care of.
Yeah.
Please find someone that could do it, and we can talk with them.
Yes.
So yeah, that's a road. That's very, very difficult.
Yeah.
And it's for sometimes, like for Karen, it's so easy. Like it comes so naturally to her saying no, or and for me, it's so natural to say, yes, I'll do it.
Yeah. I'm the same way. I have such a hard time saying no to clients. And then my team will be like, Jess, like, isn't this out of scope? And I'm like, well, yeah, but like, if we do it, then, maybe they'll like stay on for, so I need to like work on that too. And especially like being here, like in the States, like I was usually online by like 8 a.m., but my clients knew that the team started at 10 and we work shorter hours. So we work 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., 6 hours. I know from past experience, like you can get it out. A lot of these writers are not even like in their offices past 4, they're headed off or finishing up deadlines and stuff. So it makes sense for us. And when I came over here, my clients were like, well, what's your schedule? And I was like, I don't know yet. Like I want to try to be available to my clients so that they don't feel the shift and it's not concerning for them, but I also know that like me working from 10 a.m. here until 8 p.m. or later, like it just doesn't work for me. I'm exhausted. But when I first got here, I closed down Juno like 4 times a week because I was just like, I have to be online and everyone needs to know that I'm still working. And I'm slowly getting into the like, these are my hours, but it's also hard because it's like, we're up late here, So it's like 4 p.m. East Coast is 10 p.m. and I'm definitely still awake. And even though I have an out of office that I put up as soon as I like leave Juno that says like, I'm offline, reminder, I'm in Spain, blah, blah, blah. I still am like answering emails. I'll be up at 2 a.m. sometimes and I'm like answering. I'm like, Jessica, put your phone down. Like it's 2 a.m. here. It doesn't matter that it's early over there. Like you should be sleeping. Go to sleep.
Yeah.
So it's such a hard thing like to draw those boundaries. And I feel like I've been good about it. But now that I'm here, it's like I want to maintain our clients in the States and make sure they're happy and make sure that like it doesn't feel like some crazy big shift is happening, even though it is, because I'm now in a whole other time zone in a whole other country across the pond. So maybe we can take some classes together on like boundary setting or something.
100%. Yes. For me, I think it's, as you said, it's as hard setting boundaries for your client than it is setting boundaries for yourself.
Yes.
So it's also because I think we're a little bit addicted to, the adrenaline of being there. So like the wheel is there and then you can't stop. And then it's like you're thinking about that email. So I rather just
send
write
it
it
out now.
Yes,
Yeah.
just write it. And then instead of, meditating or breathing
Yeah.
or reading a book or cleaning your house or doing some laundry, which is what you have to be doing at 2 a.m. if you don't want to, if you're not sleeping, you should be working on something for you, not for someone else.
Yeah, definitely. Life. Well, so now we're both members here. How long have you been a member at Juno?
Since they opened.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's 3 years.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, that's so exciting. So you're like grandfathered in kind of vibe.
Yes.
Okay, so how has it changed, I guess, from when it opened until now? Like, what are some changes you've seen?
In Juno?
Yeah.
So at the beginning it was a bit of a mess, to be honest, because it just opened.
Yeah.
But a lot more social activities are happening right now.
Yeah.
Meaning there's events and a lot of talks and different groups, and now there's a running group, and there's so many things that before didn't happen. Mm-hmm. But in terms of people and in terms of women, in terms of collaboration, I feel like they've maintained their focus very, very well.
Yeah.
Which is us talking and collaborating and just having, share experiences with other women who are also entrepreneur, have businesses or work in also corporate. So like you get everyone here doing different things. I feel like that's something that their soul has maintained very, very well.
Yeah, I know. I obviously Liana, kicked off the season and everything, and just
she's awesome.
Yeah, she's awesome.
Love her.
And of course, she's from Maine, which is like right near where I'm from in Vermont. I've never been to Maine, but I gotta go. And yeah, just hearing like the interest in it, I was so drawn to coming here as a member because for me, like, my brand is all about like women and female empowerment and women entrepreneurs and stuff like that. So it made sense. And I've also just like, I was working from home in New York. I had a second bedroom, which was my office, and I worked from home and I never had to interact with men, and it was amazing. My husband's always like, I don't know how we are together. You hate men. And I'm like, I know, but you're okay.
Everyone but you.
Yeah, everybody but you.
I always say I'm sleeping with the enemy.
Exactly. Exactly. And so when I come here, it's so nice because it's like, not only is it like, you can tell it's designed by a woman in terms of the creative space and like the furniture and the colors and the aesthetics and everything like that. But then it's like, you also have all of these women that I like that there's like different age ranges here. So you have all different experiences. I love the different backgrounds that come into it. I'm from New York, so there's 1,000,001 backgrounds in New York as well. So it's nice to be able to like go somewhere and like know that it's kind of the same thing. It's sort of like a melting pot. And like, that's what it feels like here. And I definitely see like, and hear more Americans. And like Caroline like always was telling me that like, you can tell the Americans because they're the ones that stay like super late. So I'm always like, oh, I got to get out of here like early. I don't want people to know I'm American. But it's like, it's true because that's just like, they're probably working East Coast hours, but there's so many different businesses. There's so many different, like activities. I haven't fully gotten into a lot of them, but I'm excited about joining some of them.
I mean, there's so many that you have to be not working to be able to join all of them.
Yeah.
It's packed with activities, which I really like. I feel
something for everyone.
Yes,
for sure.
Yes, and there's like 3-4 things every day that you can join and be part of and get to know people and
shared experiences. Like one of the reasons I started the podcast is because as a publicist, I understand what makes like a good interview and conversation. And so I am like, I want to be able to like share these stories of other people. And like, while everyone has like such a unique story and everything, I'm like, just want to learn more about it because I think that if we are open to, conversations about past differences and similarities, like we can bridge even greater community, which is what I feel like Juno is trying to like achieve or is achieving as well too. So it's fun to kind of like be like, oh, I'm in this powerful woman space and I'm doing my thing.
I think it's the only one in Spain, right? That's only women.
It's the only one in Spain. know that like, men are allowed to come visit.
I know.
But I will say like sometimes when they come, I'm just like the audacity. Like I go in the bathroom and like the toilet seat's up, and I'm like, you're in an all women's co-working space. Like put the toilet seat down, Like I saw a man here that was here for a meeting the other day and he was like leaning back in the chair, like it was like up, and his feet were like on the cushion and he just was like, trying to showcase his alpha male energy. And I was like, ew, get out of here.
They're taking space even in an all women.
Yes. And that's what's so frustrating. And I always like when I see them, I'm like, oh, why is he here? But then I'm like, technically they're allowed, like, because it's always like that line between like feminism and like anti-man, so you're like, how do I like toe the line?
Well, for us, we are an all women company right now, but we've been thinking that we need like, what happens if we get some? We did have Cesar, which is a guy that was working for us with us for a year, and he was amazing. But we're thinking that sometimes it's good to have that energy depending on the men.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So like not not.
Over like over masculine, like
Yes.
misogynistic energy.
Absolutely not. But for us, sometimes like, okay, are we building an all women company?
Yeah.
Forever, or is it sometimes?
Yeah.
Like,
are we shifting at some point?
Or is it depend on whether we do interviewing? With the interview, and then we like this profile for a guy, and then we decide to hire them, which was actually what happened with Cesar.
Yeah.
We really like his energy, and it was not mistaken. Now we're friends. So.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the same thing with us. Like we are predominantly an all women company. We do have some people who identify within like the LGBTQ space. But for the most part, like I do try to hire women because I think like working with women is just better.
It is.
I think the sharing of ideas and stuff is like really great. And I just think that like no one can do it like a woman can do it, But yeah, in the 7 years that I've been in business, 8 years, seven or eight, I have only had 2 guys work for me. One was an intern. His name was Austin, right? Okay, yeah, Austin. Very long time ago. That's why I can't really remember. He was great. He was with us for a semester. He's super open to like learning, which was great. And then we had Max, who was with us for almost 2 years. And Max was like so funny because he came on as an intern and he was in New York. He was originally from Canada and like going to school in Canada. But his girlfriend is an influencer and lives in New York. So he was in New York visiting her. And I was like, well, why don't we, do an in-person just to like chat? He's like, yeah, okay, cool. Cool. So he comes, I meet him and everything. And, I'm like, okay, like, yeah, let's do this. And I was like, do you want to work in an event tonight? Like, I was like, I need more people. And he was like, yeah, sure. So I like threw him into this like massive event we were doing for YSL. They had like a fragrance coming out with like my all women team. And at the time too, like a majority of them were all like Black women as well. So Max is white and, he has this stereotypical like 90s boyfriend vibe where he's like blonde, wavy hair and everything.
I love that.
And he came in and he just like got shit done and it was adorable. He was like helping the girls out and like holding their jackets and stuff. And I was just like, oh, he fits in perfectly. And he was with us for 2 years. After he graduated, he stayed on and, became a part of the team full time and has been the only guy that has worked with us for like a long period of time. So I'm always like, shout out to Max. We love him, but I haven't had any men since. And it's not so much that, we're not like interviewing them, but we do put in a lot of our language that we are like a women-led and all of this stuff. So I think sometimes that like deters some of them from applying, which like I'm not upset about that. But, if they were the better choice, then of course I would do that. Yeah. I want to, again, I don't want to be thought of as like anti-man, but I do want to offer opportunities for women, especially when it comes to careers, and especially
because we
like
have less. Then I think that's
we do,
yeah.
and I I would feel bad if all of a sudden I like hired more men than women, and it's like, what the hell, Jess? Like, well, how can you like talk the talk but not walk the walk? So it's definitely interesting having them on board. But if you get the right one,
If you get the right one.
yeah, you got to find the right one in
Yeah.
there. So what are you guys like looking forward to like this year? And I mean, at this point, the year's almost over. So what do you have plans for next year? Like, what are some of your goals for the company?
So right now, our goal is enjoying the summer. So we sort of like
Yes.
stop,
I want to come work for you guys. I want to enjoy my summer.
So we decided not to think very deep until September.
Okay.
So that's our
I like
goal.
that as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
So just breathe, enjoy the summer. And then we are working on systematizing. Is that a thing in English? Yeah.
Yeah.
So trying to figure out how much hours we spend for client, how much we're charging the hour. Now, this is very basic, but we're a very new company.
No, that you have to do that.
Yeah. And trying to figure out why are we spending more hours? Should we charge more? Should we not have some clients? Should we have some clients because they're the big brands, so they give us a lot of visibility?
Yeah.
How should we do like all of that internally in terms of that in terms of our behind our doors, right?
Yeah.
So trying to understand how we make money.
Yeah.
And then the other thing is, okay, so since we started, clients just flow sort of like organically.
Yeah.
So we didn't do anything to go get clients.
Okay.
And that's sort of like one client recommended another client, and that sort of like
it's
flow.
the best.
Yeah. And then we now have a steady sort of like one goes, but one comes sort of like thing where we have found a balance. But we feel like in September, our goal is, okay, so how are we going to do a marketing funnel to actually get clients? So what's it going to be you can't target a small company. That's what we say to our clients that are small. You can't target all at once. You need to figure out where is your money going to go and how you're going to make how you're going to approach some clients, which is really difficult. I think you know that, because it's not like you're not selling clothes. So it's not like
it's a service.
It's a service, and it's a service that people need to be recommended and trust. And it's very hard for someone to trust, especially nowadays, their marketing team when it's outside, because it's their face to the world.
Yeah. And it's their vision for their company.
Yeah.
Like from digital marketing and even PR, like they go so hand in hand.
Yeah.
But it's like we're coming in and we're taking your vision and we're just helping to elevate it.
Yeah.
Like
exactly.
We're not trying to change it.
Exactly.
Unless, of course, that's something you're looking for. If someone's like, I kind of want to rebrand or change, then you come in. But for the most part, it's like, we are people that come in to help them just like elevate it and, get it out there even more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for us, it's trying to figure out how to get those clients that don't know us, never heard of us, nobody recommended us to hire us.
Yeah.
So that's sort of like trying to establish a funnel for those people. So that's for the company. And for me, I want to start studying again.
Okay.
Maybe a course, maybe like I feel like working so long hours and being in touch with the, working world and all of that. It's very well, but I've sort of like dropped the ball in terms of, having, courses or going to talks or like sort
educating
of like educating myself more, because I feel like that's something that I can bring to the company as well. So that's something that's a personal level for me. Like she has an MBA. She did recently. So for her, she's like, I'm good.
I've done it.
Yeah.
I've gone as high as I want to go.
And I have a master degree, but I did it before I started work. So like I did it when I was 24.
Okay.
So I didn't have so much experience. Mm-hmm. So I feel like if I go to a course now or a master or postgraduate degree, whatever, I can actually understand like how to apply all of that I'm learning. And on the other side, educational, I think I'd like to, and I'm just thinking out loud because I don't have the time, but that's to the future. Like I love teaching. Like
Yeah, same.
I love teaching. It's something that I love, being in front of people and just
Sharing the knowledge.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. So I would love to start giving sort of like courses from Basta, and like short little live courses.
Yeah.
For maybe social media managers, or writers, or
Yeah.
script writers, or people that want to start working in this business and don't really know how to.
Okay.
So I feel like now I've had quite a few years experience, and I feel like if I had one course at the beginning, maybe things would have been so much easier.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah.
I mean, it's so funny because I feel like all of the guests that we've had, like there's something about everyone that I'm like, oh my God, that's me. Like I'm you, you are me. And I'm the same way. Like I am interested in like teaching PR courses, especially because like we have interns that come from universities in the States, and I don't know what they're teaching at those schools, but I'm like, you don't even know who to pitch this like story to.
Well, that's the thing. It's too theoretical. It's too theoretical for the world
Yeah.
today sometimes. And it's good for you to study in, but you need to have something that's more practical. So it's like,
Yeah.
how do I create a social media agency, for example?
Yeah.
How do I do it? What do I charge?
Yeah.
All of these things that they don't teach you at
They
college.
don't. I mean, I tell everybody all the time that I'm just like winging it sometimes. And it's like every year I go back through and I'm like, what should I change? What do I need to like alternate? And so same thing with you. It's like, okay, breaking it down, like how many hours are we working for this client, and like how much should we charge? Should we up the rates? Like those are all things that like I think about on a consistent basis as well, because again, like there's no like blueprint for like how to, I mean, obviously there's like some, areas where you could probably find it out, but for the most part, there's no really like, how do you, do this? So I'm always so interested in like love having these conversations because it's like it feels a little less lonely when you're like, oh, okay, so you're also running numbers all the time and like thinking like, am I charging enough, and am I paying my employees enough? And so it's like, okay, like I'm not alone in this, there's someone else that's doing it. Like it feels good to have like that support system.
Yeah.
It's always crazy. Where can everybody keep up with you and Karin and Vasta and all that good stuff?
So we're big on Instagram. Not really big, but we are trying.
Yes.
Which is vasta.digital. And then same thing for Twitter. For
YouTube, TikTok. All the things.
Sorry. Same thing for TikTok. My brain's a little bit foggy today.
That's okay.
And then same thing for a website, vasta.digital. That's it. Yeah, everything's the same. So it's not .com.
Okay. .digital.
Yes.
Remember that, folks. And then, as always, you can find us at High on Feminism on Instagram, at Woke Media BK on our YouTube channel. And then, of course, you can check out our website, highonfeminism.com. Thank you again for joining me.